Here we go, here we go. I'll be up and running. Good morning, gang. Good morning, good morning. Nice to be back. It's going to be a printing day today here. As you can see. God morning. Hey, come on. Jed, take it easy, okay? Good morning, gang. Nice to see some familiar names. Everybody back. Going to have a very, slow-paced and peaceful stream here today. The work that's going on, if I see Jed's names in here, the work that's going on is I've got the set of blocks for the third print in the Legendary Loot series back from the Carver. While I was away in Canada, the blocks were finished and came back day before yesterday, I guess. So today's job is to get these blocks, I haven't even opened them yet, to get these blocks and do a test printing. And what we've got is, there's 3 of them here, they use both sides. And they're carved, you can see the black, that's the leftover tracing that she carved from. The registration marks are here, but not cut. And we made this print in a slightly different way than we've been making some recent prints, so we'll explain it as we go here. And I've got an hour or an hour and a half or whatever, and it should be more than enough time to get some basic proofs of this. And the print we're looking at, I've got the original from Jed, his Photoshop file, somewhere around here. Here we go. This is Jed's Photoshop file. Okay, let me get the blocks and a bit of explanation about how this was made. Blank, what's that all about? Here we go. Somewhere here, there it is, there's the key block. Okay. If you look at the image down the left-hand corner of the screen here, you'll see there's a key design. There are some black outlines. But there are some black outlines. The guy's face, his arm, some of the tools in the bag at the bottom. There are black outlines, but there are also many, many, many places. The flames, the coloring near his arm, the swishy part. Even look at the boot at the bottom. The colors don't match the outlines. It's a kind of a rough and ready drawing style that Jed's doing for us this year. So we have a bit of a conundrum in how we make these things. If we do a standard key block first, and then print it and transfer it, print it and transfer it, print it and transfer it, it doesn't work because it doesn't give us those flames, doesn't give us the gray on the boot, doesn't give us those wishy-washy gray lines and blue lines. It doesn't give us anything. This is not traditional classical ukiyo-e. So what we did this time is we took Jed's Photoshop file, and if you look at it, there's 5 different colors there. There's the black outlines. There's a gray tone. You can see a Yamabuki, which is a reddish yellow with a bit of reddish tint in it. There's a blue, and there's a reddish tone. You can see it on the bowling ball. And they combine, the red and the yellow combine for an orange up in the flames. The blue and the gray are overlaid in a whole bunch of places. The hair, how's the hair made? The hair must be orange, no, the hair must be yellow plus gray, I guess. So what we did was we printed from Jed's Photoshop file separate sheets just with all those colors on them. I printed them in black so that our carver could see them easily. And I printed them on wood together with the corner marks. So this is unlike our usual system where we carve the corner marks first, then put the transfer sheets into them. This is the traditional system, taking the transfer sheets with the corner marks. So there's no registration marks cut yet, which is why today I've brought with me my Kentonomi, the tool that we cut corner marks with. And I've prepared a bunch of, I stole from the workbench behind me, Ayumi-san's workbench over there. I stole just a kind of red, a kind of yellow, a kind of blue, and some black. And today's plan is to, step one, just make a straight run through to see if the block set all lines up and is going to work and that we haven't forgotten anything or stuff like that. And if it looks okay, then we'll have the printers start their runs. I don't even know which one is which. Anyway, first off, let's do the key block first. I have four sheets of paper. I moistened them about a half an hour ago because I forgot to do it last night. Smart guy. Four sheets of paper ready. Okay, let's do this. There's no registration marks cut yet. What are we saying here? Congratulations on 50,000 channel views. Is that what we have? I don't really know. I'm sorry, I don't quite know where to see that information. This is unusual. I haven't done this way for years. Got some test paper here. Okay, preparation. Baron is ready. Paste is ready. Pigments. Let's get the black out here first. What else do I need? Brush, water, the key block here, it has black on it because our carver, Kawasaki-san, she needs to print it to test it. It hasn't been printed yet by printers here, but after she does the carving, or once she's partway through the carving, she takes her own proofs of this and then goes back and touches up her carving. So that's why the key block here has black on it already. We haven't seen an impression of it yet, but she needs to proof it herself. Okay, this is going to come up obviously as people join this stream. The way the registration marks are cut on this one is different. I've already sort of explained it once. I'm not sure how to do this. Normally, we cut the registration marks on the key block at the time of carving it. Then we put paper into the registration marks on the key block, print it for tests, and then we put the paper into registration marks on the color blocks. This time we didn't do that, as I said before. All of the blocks here were done with a tracing that was taken from Jed's Photoshop file. So there's been no key block transfer done this time. We printed the key block directly from Jed's Photoshop file with registration marks. We printed the color zones directly from Jed's Photoshop file with the same registration marks on them. So we have now 5 blocks here, 5 block faces with a carved area and registration marks, and the data came straight from Jed's Photoshop file. I see also looking at this one now, she popped in, it must have been a mistake. She carved something off and put a little piece of wood in to fix it. Don't know what story there was there, only she knows. Anyway, let's get going. A left-hander here working at a right-handed bench, so everything's all wrong, but whatever. Well, there's the first run of it. And you can see again, this is not your typical ukiyo-e key block. This is very fragmented, very scattered. It means nothing until all the colors come in, of course. Kind of rough, you know, kind of rough. I don't know what she's done here in some of these places. I think I'll have to do some work on this myself after we get a proof done. It's kind of rough. Maybe she's taking, we told her that, you know, this is not classical ukiyo-e, smooth and delicate, but I think she might have taken those words a bit too much to heart, and some of this is pretty rough. I have to clean this up, I think. You know, she and I have perhaps a different definition of what this is all supposed to be. Even though it's not, I don't know, smooth, beautiful printmaking, I still want the lines to be attractive in themselves. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Back a second. 4 sheets of paper here. 4 colors. And I'm going to, normally when you see us printing, the goal of when we're printing is to try and make prints that are all exactly the same color, exactly the same, you know, because it's, the master is prepared. We don't have a master here. So as I'm printing today here, I'll be making darker, lighter, deeper shades, mixed up shades. I'll be trying different things with these 4 sheets of paper. So you're not going to see 4 clean prints that all look exactly the same. You're going to see some, you know, some testing. That's what this is. That's better. Okay, let's go. first prints are funny too because you don't know where it is. Your hand yet hasn't learned where all the places to press are, so you're feeling around where am I. Party reservation. Let me just check as if it's for today. Hang on a sec. Oh, it's for tomorrow. I'll worry about that later. Parties. They're just filling up every day. Today's a party day. There's 4 parties scheduled today. 4 people each. It's going to be a full house. Something else I have to talk about today before I forget. On that last stream, I guess, before I went to Canada last week, the Monday stream, the giant 3-hour session, we talked about a draw, putting everybody's names, a hat. I made a bunch of prints. I made 5. I ended up with 9. I had 11 sheets. I thought I had 10 sheets of paper in there. I had 11 sheets. But 2 of them were really, I don't want to show what happened. So again, 9 nice prints out of this stream from last Monday. I'm going to keep one for myself. So we're going to have 8 to send out. I've got 3 obligation prints that have to go to people who, made the support, some of the support stuff. So it's 5. There's 5 prints to go out to other people. During that day and during the time I've been in Canada, there's been lots of people who've been throwing their names into the question bucket. So we'll be sorting that out. And what I'll do is I'll get it ready tonight and this afternoon. And then on tomorrow's stream, we'll be doing the let's draw some names and see who's going to get those 5 prints. I'll do that during tomorrow's stream. I just haven't had time to get it together right now. I got back late the other night, and since then I worked with Cameron all day yesterday, catching up on paperwork and bookwork and stuff. So the draw for the girl, excuse me, the draw for the girl in the water print will take place on the stream tomorrow, just about this time tomorrow. That stream was so much fun, what did I say, 90 minutes it would take or something, and it took like double that, 3 hours, but whatever. It was a ton of fun, and I've been astonished by what's happened. After that night, or the next day before I went to Canada, I took it into my movie editor and put it up on YouTube, as many of you have seen. There's 2 versions of it up on YouTube now. A short one, 42 minutes, like short, and then the whole thing itself, over 3 hours. And funnily enough, the long version is getting more views on YouTube than the short version. 3 hours. And when you look at the analytics in the back, it's the same with any YouTube video. Not everybody watches all the way to the end, of course. What you see on the YouTube page, 10,000 clicks, just means 10,000 people started watching it. But the analytics show a lot of people, thousands of people, go all the way right to the end, So I'm a bit shocked by that. But, this paper that he left for me last night, it's too big. I don't know why they left me such big sheets here. Okay, there's our 4 sheets. What I'll do also here, that's the 4 sheets on washi. We keep them in the same order, eh? When we make prints, always it's 1, then on top 2, 3, and 4. Putting the most recent one on top lets me see each one as I print it, so we can see if problems are developing, splotches or splatches. But then once you've done each color, you flip it over, and now number 1 is on the top again. So we're always going through the sheets in the same order. Number 1 is the first one. Now also what I need for this one though, I need a few junk prints here, just on junk paper. Because I'll be testing registration, and we haven't got good registration marks carved here yet, so I'll need a bunch of sheets that I can test the registration on. This is dry paper, just copy paper. I'll use those for checking registration on the other colors. Okay, now let's go. Oh, comments. What's going on here? Seems okay. All right. Now, it's hatch. I don't even know what's going on here. What's this? This is the hatchet. This looks like the grey block, so let's try that one first. For those of you just joining, this is the first test proofing of this new set of blocks. The paper that's on there is the leftover remnants of the Gampi paper that was used to transfer the image. It washes off easily. This is a blank brush with nothing on it. So there's the Gampi paper coming off. For color blocks like this, we don't use that wood glue, yeah? We use just a light Japanese paste. Comes off really easily. I've done this before, washed the whole thing, washed it off, including the registration marks, of course, but today no such luck. I'm not understanding here. If something like what happened with YouTube happens with your Twitch channel, how do you think you will adjust the dynamics of the stream? I'm not sure what you're asking about. I'm sorry. Even if it explodes, goes like 500 times as big as it was before, I don't know. I really don't know. I know at the moment the number of Twitch viewers is low enough that I can sort of keep in touch with what's going on. If it becomes bizarre and the stream just runs by zum, then that's it. I will lose personal touch with it. You know, it'll be just more simply me doing my stuff and speaking very generically, hello out there, you know, like speaking from the stage to 1 million people. I don't know what to say. I like it the way it is right now, very much. Okay, what we're going to do here, before I cut these things, is I'm going to just try a test print here. Just putting the paper on top of the registration marks, just so I can see. You know, almost certainly they're okay. It was just printed from Photoshop and plastered on, you know. If it was a large block, a block that might have warped, a block that might have twisted, the registration marks might need adjusting already. But I don't think so. These are plywood blocks. They're small. It was just printed, pasted. So almost certainly they're going to be perfect. But anyway, let's have a look. Okay, great. First, get the brush charged up with paste and water. Always, always, always. Never put color on a dry block. Never put pigment on a block that hasn't been thoroughly moistened and warmed up. You'll see this in a minute with the red and the blue and the yellow. If you put a splash of blue pigment on a piece of dry wood, it soaks in right in that one spot and you get a blue blotch for the rest of your life in that place. Always, always, always on a new block, get it warmed up before you even think about touching it with pigment. Also gets the brush full. Okay, now the block is sort of warmed up. It's a bit moist. It's started to absorb moisture. It's no longer super thirsty to snatch that pigment. We can now start putting stuff on it. This is going to be grey. I haven't mixed any grey. We're just going to pick up from the black. A light tinted pigment like this is mostly paste, very little pigment. Okay, let's see what she looks like. These are test sheets. This is the junk paper. I still haven't cut the registration marks. I better get my glasses. Yeah, we don't know where these are. After you've printed something for a while, your hand knows go here, here, here. But at the beginning, I haven't a clue where this is. Okay, there are places here where it's supposed to match, like the grey has to come in this bell. It seems to line up properly. Other places like the boot, we just can't tell because there's so much white area. Seems like this is matching. Up in here. Yeah, it's deep there. I think we're okay. Not sure about the tone, it's a bit too dirty. Let's cut the marks. where are we? Where are we? Where are we? What's the questions? Just a sec. This is number 3 in this series. The questions are going by pretty thick and fast here. I'm sorry. Can you share who designed the original image? It's Jed Henry stuff here. I know. If you go to Mokuhankan. Oh, here somebody's putting in the links here. The carver on this was one of our young girls. So Kawasaki-san, the young girl who lives in Kobe, she carved this. She's the one who carved most of our yokai prints last year. Yeah, Jed's there. He can answer about that stuff. Hi. The order in which we apply the colors, there's no single rule. There's all kinds of rules about how to apply the colors. Sometimes it makes most sense to work from dark to light. Sometimes the other way around. Sometimes you will put a large area color first. The paper gets too wet, you put a small area color next. There's a million different rules. All I can say is just experience dictates what suits each particular. Looks okay, let's see. Okay, and again, registration test. This is the junk paper. We're lining up. Okay, let's do a couple of sheets on the real paper. I think for that it's pretty soft. I think I'll need some of the, here we go, the backing, protective backing sheet. I'm not going to do all 4 here. I'm just going to do 2 sheets because I don't really know how deep this gray should be until we see how it interacts with the other colors, the blue and stuff. So I'll just do a couple of sheets here. Hesitant here, I don't know where it is. Might be a bit too light, let's see. Let's crank it up a bit more. Okay, a bit darker. Okay, let's put those back in. And switch to another one. Let's do the blue. I can't find it. What's that? This is going to be, this must be red. It's the flames on the bowling ball. This is the blue, I think, with the squibbles. Yeah, that's blank. On the back of this one, that must be the yellow. Yeah, more flames and a shield or whatever. Okay. Let's do the blue. Again, these are the remnants of the Gampi paper on here. Comes off easily and smoothly. Patreon prints are flying out here. They're going out all the time now. Every couple of weeks another batch goes out. We haven't got the Patreon Nenga prints, the New Year's prints haven't gone to Patreon members yet. So we've received a couple of emails. Where's mine? I heard everybody else got them. They haven't gone yet. We've printed another batch. In fact, that's my job later this afternoon, to get the last batch of addresses to the shipping ladies. So if you haven't got your New Year's Patreon print yet, don't panic, don't worry. Again, for this blue, we're warming up the block first before I ever touch it with pigment. No pigment goes on the block until it's warmed up. And the blue itself has grey in it just by itself before we get the grey on top. Nay. So let's see, what have we got? This is Kawai-san's bench. He's got some blue here. I think this is left over. That's a bit greenish, nay. Let's see what I can find on the next bench. Hang on a sec. Yoisha! Just mixing on the tile here. There's something in the question. Something in the question bucket. Two questions here. questions. One about pigments. I know, as I described on my website, we prepare pigments with we grind them with water and alcohol and then store them in jars. And the lady here is asking, the person is asking, how long does it last on the shelf? I'm not quite sure. We haven't ever had a problem. Remember, we keep our pigments too, we keep them in the refrigerator, so things tend not to go bad. So we don't have a problem. And do we ever add gum arabic or binders? No, we add no gum arabic to our pigments at all. Everything we've got here, all of them, with no exceptions, it's ground powder pigment with water and alcohol to mix it. There's no other binders, there's no other preservatives. Water and alcohol and a freezer for a refrigerator. And the other question is, before computers, how did we do this color breakdown and stuff? What can I say? I know we've been over this many times. The artist drew the picture on thin paper at the real size. There's no Photoshop, there's no copy machines. The design was then pasted onto the block at original size. Carvers carved it, took impressions from the key block, passed those impressions back to the designer, and the designer drew on the color transfer sheets what he wanted for color separations. So there was no requirement for computers. Let me try and get straight what I'm doing here. Testing two things at once here: general registration, trying to see if the registration sort of lines up, and then what kind of color we've got, how deep, whatever. This is junk paper. Okay, the blue's too deep. The blue's too deep and the gray is too shallow, but what I'm concerned about right now more than that is just the registration. Looks lined up. It's sticking out down here. It's funny, the color balance too. The color you see on this camera from over there is totally different from the color you see on the camera here, you know. The camera here on the Mac is much closer to the original print than the colors you see here. This is much greener. The color balance is different on these, so don't sweat the color you're seeing so much. Okay, let's cut these marks. Can't see, really getting old, you know. Seems okay. Okay, here we are on the real paper. Still don't know where it is now. Okay, here we are after two colors. I don't know what you're going to see color-wise on this monitor. It looks much greener, I think, on this camera. Can't see it here. Got too much gray in the blue, I think. Jed's is a bit brighter, cleaner, so that's the next step. Okay, moving on. What's next? Yellow. Where's the yellow? Okay, what do we need here? Yellow with lots of red mixed in. This is lemony. We've got some red here. Let's clean up a tile. When the girls do the really addition for this, of course, they won't be mixing colors on a tile. They'll get a new bowl ready, put yellow in, put red in, put yellow in, put red in, and mix exactly what they need. At this point, this is really just a block test, so just the mixing happens on the tile here. There we go. Is that close? Looks close, kind of. Might be still a bit too yellowy. Oh, maybe not. Again, it's hard to tell the different cameras. Looks so different on the two different cameras. Touch more red. Okay, again, usual routine. First check registration check on the junk paper. Haven't carved the marks yet. A registration check on this one means next to nothing because it's all just flames up in the open. So there's a bit of hair around the arrows, it's all backed off. Seems okay, it's quite wide here. I don't know if that's what Jed intends or not. It's hard to say. Okay, let's go. Oh, I've got to cut the marks. I have no idea where this is. Bowling ball. Sword up here somewhere. Where is it? Too light, I think it's hard to tell till the orange goes on. coming together, coming close. Lined up well, I think. It's good. What's next? Next is the red. Sorry about the slow pace here, excuse me. Just sort of, you know, after being away for a week, you know. I don't know where I am anymore, but whatever. Lost my glasses now. Jed's off, is he? He's gone. Hi. Jed and I have been Skyping the last couple of days after I got back from Canada. Skyping along with William, who's here, I guess. William was on the stream earlier here today, or maybe still here. There's lots of stuff cooking. There's so much stuff cooking. What am I next? What am I doing? Red. There's so much stuff cooking right now. The news we'll have in the next few days on Asuga-san, the bench over there. I don't want to move the computer. The bench, no, over there. She's been working on that first of the boss fights prints. And I've been away for a week, and I see on her bench now the wood blocks for one of our other prints from downstairs. So that tells me that she has probably finished her first printing of the first batch of 60 prints. Or else she's got into a problem and she froze it and just waited till I got back so we could talk about it. So, so that's happening. The first of the boss fights prints is coming. Then what's happening also next is the older Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. The one about the Colossus, Shadow of the Colossus, is now up and running. It's on Jed's website already. The next one, the Dragon's Gift, the young boy giving the Dragon Balls to the creature. It's being printed right now and should be back from the printer next Monday or next Tuesday. That'll be out and about soon. I'll be doing next week a test printing like this, a much more difficult day-long test printing on the snake, the Serpent Strikes print, which is now carved and ready for production. So after a year, 2 years, 3 years of sleeping, the Ukiyo-e Heroes series is bang, back alive with prints pouring out of here. What am I doing? This is red, pale red. Nah, not quite sure what color to use. The way Jed does his Photoshop overlays, he's got a pale red on the bowling ball, but when it comes up to over the orange, it really vividly adds depth. So that's fine for Photoshop, but that's not probably how it's going to work here in woodblock world. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. First, just put some kind of red tint on here. It'll be too light, I think, but let's just start here. What's that? Oh, it's a bit of flame. It's a candle. I see. That's going to be trouble. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, glasses on, glasses off. Registration on this one's going to be a bear. The mouth has got to be exact. Okay, let's see. Different brush for each color. Yes, yes, yes. Red, blue, yellow, green, everything, everything. The brushes get washed after we use them. Brushes have a color group. Like this is a red brush, but it'll be used for red, maybe sometimes for an orange. Maybe for a pink. It won't be used for a green or anything like that, of course. Brushes stay in their own group. We've got dozens and dozens and dozens of brushes, different sizes, different softness. Are the confirmation emails handwritten? Yeah, we answer every order. When you order from the website, there's the first thing, within seconds, there's an auto email heads out, you know, the email from our site or from or PayPal, whatever. And then what we've been doing for years is I myself have answered every order with a handwritten confirmation. Handwritten, I mean typed, whatever. I mean from me, a confirmation. And because I've been doing this every day and also from 6 in the morning till late at night, people have been getting confirmations like almost instantly. That's changed now. Cameron is doing those and he works 5 days a week. Not 7 days a week, morning till night. So the confirmation mails have now changed. They are still from humans. They're mostly from Cameron rather than from me. And you don't get it within a few seconds. You have to wait till business hours. And that was a bit frustrating for me too this last week while I've been in Canada. I've been seeing the mails go through. Like when Cameron was off for the weekend, I'm thinking, no, we got to write to these people. We got to write to these people. But Dave, be quiet, be quiet. Business hours are business hours. But yeah, we write by hand. I mean, it's not like we're getting 500 orders a day, you know. We get a dozen orders a day or something. At Christmas time, they come thick and fast. But during the rest of the year, it's not that much. Right? It's our job to write back to everybody, to say thank you, to get the thing on the way. The status of the Great Wave print, asking for a friend. Yeah, right. The next batch is being printed as I speak. They should be back any minute now. And we will let people know on the waiting list in order of them coming on the waiting list. We have over 200 people waiting at the moment. This next batch of prints, there's 50 of them coming. So if you just put your name on the waiting list right now, don't hold your breath, you know. It's a bit of a tragedy for us. Wonderful print, very popular. We're very proud of it. But we can only make maximum about 50 copies a month. Maximum. The Great Wave, eh? So all I can say is I'm sorry, put your name in if you're interested, and we'll let you know when they're ready. We just can't push it. We don't have the printers and we don't want to overdo the blocks. It's a combination of two things. But the next batch should be up any minute now. Okay, where am I? First one on washi here, let's try. For the Great Wave, we are absolutely letting the blocks rest. Absolutely resting the blocks and all. We want those blocks to last for a very long time. We want them to be in good condition. As I said, we're making a batch. We run about 60 in a batch. We do that once a month. We get about 50 good ones. Oh, too dark. Red's too dark. Way too dark. You can see where we came with it, eh? Compared to Jed's original. Red's too dark, so the bowling ball is quite deep red. Well, it's not all that different, but bit on the dark side. Let's see. Let's knock it back. Maybe okay. I hear faint in the distance the pim-pom, pim-pom. So I think that must mean Cameron is patrolling nearby. He must be here soon, I think. Or it could be one of the printers. It's going to be a full house here today. When I got up this morning, I got a message saying, please take my paper out of the freezer from 2 of the printers. So Sugu-san will be here today. Ayumi-san will be here today. She's still hanging around doing small work for us until she pops. Okay, I wiped the block. I need to get the red pigment off it. So let's try the next one with a lighter touch of pigment. There's still pigment, of course, in the brush. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I think I'm okay.
Good.
Bit of a slow, lazy stream here today.
Yeah. You aren't making owls, are you?
No, I'm not making owls, although owls were on the bench when I got here this morning.
Oh, no.
Kawai-san's working on some, it seems.
Oh, nice. What are you up to? Oh, the new design.
It's, yeah, the first test proofing. It seems okay. I don't know, I'm not sure about the colors I've got here, but the blocks seem all right.
That's good.
You can say hello to the gang here. They're seeing you in the...
Let's see. Morning. I'm here to destroy the Wi-Fi.
It's the morning cam, so...
Yeah.
So here we are. This looks like our first proof here. I think we're close. Let's have a look. This camera shows all the wrong colors, you know. Look at the blue. It's totally different.
Whoa, yeah.
When you move it over to this camera, it looks... Look at that.
A bit closer,
A bit closer, so...
Oh.
I think we're there. The block set looks good. Let's have a look. Even though the color tone's a bit different, let's have a look here. Is it going to focus close? I'm not sure.
Looks like it's pretty close.
Yeah. The blue is a totally different tone. See it?
Yeah.
I've got to fix the color balance. Remind me later, Nate. Try and change the color balance on this camera.
Yeah.
It's confused. It's like we got the LEDs up on the wall.
Right.
We got the natural light coming through the window. And then this thing, whatever this is, I have no idea what it is. So you can even see it's just under this light. It's totally confused about what to do. So.
Yeah, all the different light sources are different temperatures.
Can we get a good view of the washi texture? I'm not sure. Let's try here. And maybe a little bit. Good. Not so bad. In the, I just noticed, Cameron-san.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the bot working here explaining things. And when you ask the bot who Cameron is, it talks about the train being late. I mean, this has become...
Perfect.
This has become embedded in your identity. He always pops an hour into the stream if his train is not late. So, I don't know about that. You know, what kind of impression of Japan are you guys getting? You know, I don't believe that the trains are late. I think, you know, which would you trust more, Japanese trains or some American dude who's hanging around here? Ouch, he says. Ouch, he says. The train line he's on is a relatively new commuter line, and it's very heavily overburdened. And it's also an independent company. It's not an experienced train company, like JR or something, who've been at it for a century and a half. You know? It's and I guess as they built it, all these new bed towns built up like crazy along that route because the land was so cheap out there. Now mortgage rates are so cheap, so it's way more overburdened than what they had done or what they had planned on. Yeah. So.
I remember talking to the realtor in the area. She said when they first built this station, 10 years ago or so, she couldn't believe it. It was just surrounded by
farms.
Yeah.
So exactly.
She said, "Why are you putting a station here?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it." But now, totally different place.
Okay, where are we? That's pretty much the job this morning, eh? I don't know which line. He's on the, it's called the Tsukuba Express line. It runs from Akihabara in central Tokyo up to the area where Tsukuba University is. I don't know. And it was built, I think it was built to help, they were trying to build it, they're trying to disperse from central Tokyo. And this goes back 10, 15, 20 years. They built universities and a new town up in Tsukuba and tried to make it as a sort of satellite town of Tokyo. And it didn't really get off the ground so much. And then they put this train line. They must have spent bajillions of dollars doing this. But now what it has done is it's dispersed, I don't know, commuters. It's turned into a huge bedtown area. And a lot of people were able to buy houses up there who wouldn't have been able to buy them in central Tokyo. So. Anyway, where are we? Where are we? Okay, let's have a look at this. Here is our print. So what's next for this now is, I will take these blocks downstairs to my workbench, and there's a number of places that need slight trimming and slight, adjustment. I don't know if I can show you here how close we can get without focusing. For example, and if you can see the orange up at the tip here, the orange has a blob at the end. It needs to be sharpened and tapered properly. This one's tapered okay. This one's not tapered okay. There's, the little icon in the middle of the axe has to have a little bit sharpened so that the pigment doesn't do tamari in the middle of that. There's a place down here on this sword handle where the yellow is coming up just a bit too much. It blots on the edge. So here and there, there's a bunch of little adjustments which I can't make here without my glasses and lens. So the blocks go downstairs now for that. Then I've also got to trim off. See what's happening here? Places like this. Look on the corner here. See you can see a line made by the leftover wood on the blocks, and we can see it also. I get reversed here. Here we go. It's this side. I get my left and right. You see this? There's lines, and what our carver does when she prepares these blocks, she always leaves too much wood because she doesn't know how much wood we need. So this area here has to be shaved off. And then there you saw the line on the corner. This line here is embedding onto the paper. So each one of these blocks now has to go downstairs to my bench to get these little details trimmed off. Someone's asking about the mouth. I don't know. Let's have a look. Can we get close to it? This one doesn't really focus well here. Maybe at the back of the mouth right there, it could be a tiny bit of trim off. So there we are. We've got our first rough proof. That was the goal of today's exercise. The blocks look good. The registration marks are now okay. I will now clean up the blocks downstairs. And the girls will start their print run. They will have my sheets as a guide and also Jed's. And they'll fix the blue. I think they're going to get the blue a bit more close to Jed's. I think we've got a bit more peacock blue needs to go in there. Tamari. Tamari soy sauce. I don't know. Cameron-san?
Yes.
You know the shoyu, the famous brand of shoyu called Tamari shoyu.
I don't think I've used.
Oh, is that any connection with tamari as in we do these blobs of pigment, and I don't know. Simple answer, I don't know. Yeah, a bunch of places need to be trimmed off here. Okay, anyway, that we are. That's my job. Tomorrow's stream. What's the schedule for the stream coming up the next few days now? This is Wednesday morning. Thursday morning. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'll be doing. It might be color separations on the Times Burned Bright print. I don't have it prepared for you to show. It's the 17th print in the Ukiyo Hero series. We did 10 prints many years. We did 6 new designs in the Kickstarter campaign, and now we're moving ahead and more prints are in preparation. Number 17 is going to be the design that Jed called Times Burned Bright. It's from the game Chrono Trigger, and it's a design that I've wanted for many, many years to make. He's got a Jiclay version on his website. And our carver Kawasaki-san is now, the girl who did this, is ready for work. I'm going to try and prepare that image and send it down to her. So that might be what I'll be doing in the stream tomorrow morning. I'm really not sure. Or I could be doing color separation work on number 5. This is number 3 in the Loot series. I might be doing the carving preparation on number 5. I don't remember. I've been away for a week and stuff is stacked up and I haven't even looked at my desk yet. Yeah, I think that's what I'll be doing. I'm not really sure. Anyway, there we are. I think that's it for today. A very quiet, not so much happen stream, I'm sorry, but the first stage of a print coming to life. Let's look at it again under the same light, the normal light. there compared to the one just below it, Jed's Proof. I think we're not so far off. We'll have a look at it. Okay, guys. Thanks very much. I'm on the way here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night for now. The stream seems to have gone quiet. It's died maybe. Who knows? Am I still streaming? See you later. Bye-bye for now. It did go quiet, but now it's awake again. Okay. Anyway, we're done for now. Thanks again. Not sure what I'll be doing tomorrow, but we'll try and find something interesting to do. Bye-bye.